everyone, welcome back to Easy Cooking with Linda B. I have a friend that I work with whose husband recently had hip replacement surgery. So she's on family medical leave right now to care for him. So I want to help out and I'm going to make them both a meal. I am making for them chicken cacciatore. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Right now I have in my skillet, and this is a 12-inch skillet, I have chicken thighs and drumsticks. And what I'm doing is I'm going to pre-cook them first. Now I want to let them go for about 20 minutes. Get a nice char on the skin side. Now you could always make this, if you don't like the skin, by all means remove it. But we like the skin because of the flavor. See, these are turning out nice. So I have these cooking probably for about 20 minutes. I do not have to cook them all the way through because I will finish them at the end. I just don't want to put raw chicken in with the vegetables. I'm just going to give them a turn. They all look good. Oh yeah, they're just looking beautiful at this point. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them, transfer them to my bowl. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. I have it on like a medium, a little more like a medium high. Skin may pull away, that's bound to happen. So what I'm going to do is, because I have a huge batch here, I needed a flat skillet like this to cook the chicken. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer that to my wok. But I want to use this chicken fat. So I'm going to transfer this over. I'm going to take about a tablespoon of fat and I'm going to put it in my wok. I want that to heat up because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pepper flakes. Now they don't like a lot of heat, so I'm going to add just a small amount, probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just like that. Warming up in this oil, the chicken fat. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add garlic. Now I have 3 cloves of minced garlic. It sounds like a lot. This is going to make a huge batch. It's going to add a lot of flavor. I'm going to stir that in. I'm going to increase my heat just a little bit, but you want to be very careful not to burn the garlic. You want it to cook just to get the rawness out of that. And then what I will do is I'm going to add some wine. Okay, this is looking very good. Okay, now my garlic has been cooking for about a minute, minute and a half. And what I'm going to do now is add some wine, probably a couple of tablespoons. Let that cook. Now while that's cooking, in this bowl here, I have, I would say, a half an onion cut pretty large. Because I want to see the onion in my food. I like to see all my vegetables. If they're finely minced, you don't really see them. And I also have 3 peppers. They're bell peppers. I have green, red, and yellow. I love the color combination, plus the flavors, the sweetness from the red and the yellow. Okay, so as you can see, this is cooking very nice. So what I'm going to do here is add in my vegetables. Be very careful not to splash up and burn yourself while doing this. And to that, I'd like to add some salt, Not a lot, because in the end, I'm going to put in Kalamata olives that are pitted and have been brined. So you're going to get the saltness from there. And then I'm going to stir this, and now the next thing is I will cover it and I'm going to let it cook. I'm going to let it cook probably about 15 minutes at this point, and then I'm going to add tomatoes next. Actually, you know what I could do? I'm going to add parsley, and normally I put basil in, but my friends are not crazy about basil, so I'm going to admit that. You can add it to yours. So I'm going to put a few shakes in there of that, and also, the Italian seasoning. This goes perfectly with the tomatoes that I will be adding. Okay, I'm going to stir this up, and I'm going to cover this and let it cook for about 15 minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, now my vegetables have been cooking for about 15 minutes. As you can see, they've sweated down, but they are not finished cooking. I'm going to add potatoes. I know this is not a typical chicken cacciatore recipe, but I want to make the dish a little more wholesome. So I have a potato that I had cut thinly so it doesn't take forever to cook, and I'm going to put that into the mixture and mix it up really well. Then I'm going to add my tomatoes. Now this, I purchased a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. I put them in my Pyrex, and I chopped them small. The reason why I want to do that is because I don't want whole big chunks in my dish here. So I'm going to pour that in. Add a little more Italian seasoning for flavor. Just a little bit of salt. Tomatoes can handle it, so can't the potatoes and the chicken. Stir this here. Mix it up well and cover it, and I want to say cook this probably for about another 20-25 minutes until the vegetables are almost tender and the tomatoes are cooked out. Okay, and then I'll show you what we do. All right, right now we're about 10 minutes into the cooking process. And what I decided I wanted to do was add more wine. The wine will help break everything down. Probably put about another 2 tablespoons in here. And at this point, I'm going to add my Kalamata olives. I would say I have about a 1/4 cup here, because I really want to extract the salt from the olives in here. Okay, now I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to let it continue to cook until it's almost done. Okay, now I've checked the potatoes. They are fork tender. See, that goes through nicely there. And I'm going to continue cooking them more, but the next thing I want to do is add the chicken back into the pan. I'm going to put skin side down first. And also I'm going to take whatever drippings I have left in my bowl and pour them in, because that's all going to cook down. Now I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Then open the cover, and then I'm gonna flip everything around until I know the chicken is done. And I'll show you what it all looks like in the end. Okay, now I've used my instant read thermometer, and the chicken did reach 165 degrees. Excuse me, and as you could see on the drumstick, the meat is pulling apart from the leg, the bone, so you know that it is done. So at this point, I'm going to turn off my burner, and then I'm going to put it in a container like this. It'll just be much easier for my friend to carry it home. So I'm going to scoop it out. Well, look at that. Okay, I'll get this, excuse me, put together, and I'll show. All right, here it is, all in the container. I just need to let it cool, and then I'm going to cover it, throw it in the refrigerator, and have it ready for her to pick up. She'll be here in about an hour and a half to get this. So I hope that you enjoyed watching my video, me making the chicken cacciatore for friends. And I hope you had a wonderful day. Remember, enjoy life and never stop learning. Bye now.